Alright, so we're talking currently the city justice system PvP is a new idea that I have to handle some of the justice PvP that we'd like to see in here in ESO. We've already heard that they're not going to institute the open world PvP system. So, what I'm trying to get done, or trying to suggest at least, is handling it more on a instance basis. So, we're saying, like, let's say take Reyros. Reyros is a great city to exemplify this. And the reason that we're here is because, let's say you go in here and you steal something, and the city PvP system is in place. What will basically happen is the areas that we have coming into this area are going to be gated off. And it's going to be handled like an instance, so that when you come in here, you can either choose to come into a regular instance, or you can choose to come into a PvP instance. Now, you're not going to be flagged for PvP right away when you come into that instance. Guards can only attack those who've actually broken the law. But there's another thing that I'm putting on top of this as well, where guards can't actually attack just any old thief. After you steal something, let's say you just go ahead and you wander up here. Just, we're gonna steal these tomatoes, right? If we can get ourselves undetected here. Steal this pumpkin here. So we stole this pumpkin. An ingredient purchase here. And you can see this here, and you see it's worth 1 gold. That's not really enough to trigger a guard to come and get me, okay? And if I'm not, as long as I'm not caught, I'm not going to get a bounty for that either, so they're also not going to be able to come and get me.
Question authority will have some questions.
What will trigger it, though, is if I just go along here and, if I get caught, or if I steal a certain amount of items here that is worth enough, let's say like 1,000 gold. Just looking around for different items here. If I can find something that's actually expensive out here.
So very busy.
No, not interested. Thank you. I can't find anything that's actually worthwhile here. Big surprise. Everything's empty. No one cares about putting valuables in their stuff here.
There are no rules here, but I'll tell you when you break one.
Alright. So, just for example's sake here, because we can't seem to find an item here that's actually worthwhile to steal. Let's say we just steal about, like, 1,000 gold's worth of items here. Alright? At that point here, on the map, let's say you have a guard sitting way over here, okay? He's going to have an NPC come up to him. The NPC is going to be like, help, help, my stuff has been stolen. I just took a look, it's gone, it's gone. And then they're going to get an indicator over on our area here, much like a quest marker, saying that, hey, the thief was in this area here. At which point, I have a choice that I can keep on stealing, or I can get myself out of there so I can go ahead and sell my stuff off. If I choose to keep on stealing, and I get another, like, 2,000, 4,000, like, 10,000 gold, other guards are going to be notified in the area that there's a thief in this area, he keeps on stealing stuff, he's got all this other stuff here. Up to that point, though, only that first guard that gets notified is going to be able to PvP with us, and vice versa. We're going to be able to attack them back to try to defend ourselves. Based on that, we're going to have to see if we can get to one of these gates to get ourselves out of there. The Weyra sewers here will be closed off, and if we do anything to jump over the wall or come out of the thing here, we try using /stuck, we use, we use the port system to get out of here. We're going to lose those items, because basically the city's going to be warded at that point, and you're not going to be able to get out of this area with this stuff if you do not exit through a registered gate. Now, when you come in here, you're also going to have battle leveling, so if you're low level when you come in here, you're not going to face against a V16 like me and not have the stats to be able to take me out if you're a guard. And vice versa, if I'm a level 10 guy going around here trying to steal stuff, I'm not going to be able to go ahead and get this. Now, why are you going to be doing this anyways? Like, why do you want to steal inside of the city when you can steal anywhere else inside of Tamriel? Well, because the stuff that's going to be in here is going to be the purple stuff. It's going to be the gold stuff. It's going to be mats that you want to use for crafting. And that's one of the benefits to it that we don't have inside of our current PvP system, really, that you don't have any ability to get some of the good items that you get inside the PvE system, because a lot of it requires grinding and all this other stuff there. In addition, if you're going to be a guard, right, and you're going to be doing this fighting, you're kind of wondering, well, why do I want to be a guard when I have all this good stuff to steal? Well, on the other end, you're going to have the ability to basically run as a scion for these people, and you're going to have a chance to catch these people. You're going to get a share of the profits. You're also going to have a quartermaster there that you're going to be able to go to and be like, hey, I want to buy this stuff. And for being a good boy and helping capture all these criminals and getting like enough marks or something like that, you're going to be able to go buy that stuff on the other end. So you can actually buy the stuff instead of having an RNG chance at getting some of it. In addition to that, though, you're going to have to also look at what you're doing, too, with the guard system. Like, just because you're, like, following me around here, knowing that I'm a little sneaky sneak here, you're not going to be able to actually do anything. Like, I can go up to this guy here, steal from him, run away, and you won't be able to do a damn thing about it. Again, you have to be notified by that NPC that I'm a criminal, and they're putting charges against me, basically. You want to be able to just go up and kill somebody. And that kind of brings another thing into it, where you don't have to worry about people zorging all over. You don't have to worry about a roaming band of thieves inside of Wayrest able to take out everyone. And let's say you just come up to the wall here and you just jump over. Well, guess what? All the items are gone at that point. You want to come through these gates over here. This is where you want to come through. And if you come through these gates, or let's say you get to the refuge and get yourself out of here, you can do that. But again, remember, you're looking at the guards are going to have these updates here on where your location is. It's not going to be every second that they're going to get these updates, but maybe once every 5, 10, 30 seconds, it's going to update with your location in the area here. So as I move along here, it's going to show like, okay, they're over in this area, they're over in this area. And the longer that you camp in one area, the smaller and smaller that circle will be. So if you have a Nightblade that's like has like really high sneak chance, they're not going to be able to camp for a long time. In addition to that, the longer they stay in there, the longer the guards are going to have to come and find you. In addition to that, more guards are going to be called upon you, or are going to be called upon to get you, the longer you're sitting there. So it's a factor of how much you've stolen, the time that you've taken, and if you've been caught with a bounty or not. That's actually going to figure out if you're attackable and by how many people. It's an interesting system at the very least, because it makes it so that you're going to have a small-scale PvP if you choose to, and if you choose to be somebody that just steals everything, well, you're going to have a large-scale PvP system on you with 1v, I don't know, 20 if you get like a good amount of gold on top of you. Let's see. Failing to escape and apprehending people in this is also going to have a negative effect on it as well. If you fail to escape, and let's say you get killed before you hit this actual Thieves Guild here, or not Thieves Guild, but Refuge, then you're not going to be able to come back into this city for a short period of time to actually come back and thief. So the guards basically spread the word around, and everyone's watching you, so you're not able to get back into that PvP instance at that point. As well, if you're a guard and you keep on letting criminals get away, then you're also going to face something where you're going to have, basically the captain of the guard is going to come up and just kick you out and strip you of your rank for that time period, because basically they're not going to stand deadbeats there. Because, I mean, again, you could have meta friends here that are just running around the city, and you don't want to apprehend them, but you keep on getting their mission. Well, if you keep on ignoring their mission, you're not being an effective guard, so get them off there. You might as well go ahead and do something else then.
I wish I was off adventuring.
And if you do, one other thing as well, if these guards here, as you can see, the Wayros guards here, these guards are going to be killable with this as well, and you're going to be able to do this other stuff here. But guards, as they're doing this as well, they're going to get notifications periodically, even if there's not somebody actually stealing. They'll have an NPC thief just kind of wandering around the city, and they're going to get notifications for that NPC as well, and that way they can also earn some of these marks here even when there's not a thief involved. Now, let's say there's no guards in the area, but there are plenty of thieves. Well, then the thieves are not going to get the other stuff there that they actually want, because the loot basically drops back down to more of a Tamriel-esque loot table, where they're getting a random they're getting a random purple item or maybe a random blue every once in a while. But they're not getting the purple, the gold stuff that they actually want. And so basically what this does is gives you one arena type area here where you can actually work and do PvP to steal without having to affect anyone else that doesn't want to actually opt in. For the rest of Tamriel here, you can go ahead and steal all you want. That system is still going to be in place. We're not going to touch any of that other stuff there. And even if you come into this town here and you choose not to go into the PvP side of it, then it's not going to affect you at all. No one's going to come in here and interrupt you while you're in the middle of your quests. Only the people that opt to go into it are going to come into this area. And then special rule sets, well, of course, will apply, just like they do in Cyrodiil. And you're going to be able to attack one another. You're going to have battle leveling that comes on top of this. You're also going to have cross-factioning, too, because basically we're going to strip away the alliance ranks, or the alliance boundaries, I guess. And if you're EP, DC, AD, you can be a guard or a thief and fight whoever you choose to if you get that person as part of your deed. Now, there are limitations to this. I'm not quite sure how some of this can be worked out, but at the same time, they've already mentioned that they're working on some of the stuff here. So one thing is, like, how are you going to handle the single player versus single player part of it? Well, they already mentioned they're working on dueling. So they already got something in the works to handle one-on-one play. And basically, this would just piggyback on top of that and give you the ability to 1v1 and then slowly 1vx however many people you want to, based on how much you steal and how well you're doing it. In addition to that, certain PvP builds that are currently unstoppable in the game. You have a lot of Nightblades going around there that are able to just like two-shot people. That is an issue, but I assume that's going to be addressed in the future when they do balancing on some of this. You also have a huge metagame, or you're going to have metagaming out there where people are going to basically bribe a guard, is how I'm describing it. Where you have a buddy in there, you don't want to capture him. So, you know, what are you going to do about that? Well, again, if they don't capture you, that suits a penalty to them. They still have ways they can keep to be a guard if they don't capture you, but they're going to have to face those penalties for not capturing you if you choose to have a metagame buddy like that, or they choose to let you go. Again, if no guards are in the area, thieves reign the city, well, we're going to have to just accept that there's going to be low and high times, but basically if a guard isn't assigned, then the guard isn't going to, basically the thieves aren't going to get the loot. So you're going to want to have guards assigned to the city here so you can actually get loot to loot up and have a good time with that. There may be a huge amount of guards and thieves in one city instance. I don't know exactly how that can be handled other than making several instances of the same city. I don't really see a clean way to do that unless you... Well, you could also put a queue in there and say, well, we have too many guards or we have too many thieves inside the city at this time. Please wait. But that's a queue that they do in PvP. I'd prefer to just see more instances open up, but we have to see how popular it would be. I think it would be fairly popular when it first comes out, and then, you know, people would still do it even after the initial rush for that, too. And, the other issue is that some cities are small and don't have walls around it. So we would have to have a restructuring of some of the cities here, like especially in the AD territories here. I can't really think of a lot of good areas other than maybe like Skywatch here, like this, or maybe even some of the instance areas like Dune here. But you'd have to put a wall around these, you have to put in some gates and all this other stuff here. But I think it's perfectly doable given the system here, and I mean, most other MMOs do come back and revisit some of their old content and update that and upgrade it once, you know, a certain story has been told enough. So maybe we can have some of that and have some of that there. But that's my idea. That's my proposal on this. If this goes well, we could possibly have a phase 2 where, let's say you have a thief team and a guard team, and the thief team has to go in and steal something in multiple targets, or there could be a Dark Brotherhood team come in with an assassin team to go kill somebody like a VIP, and guards have to try guarding them. That'd be a good phase 2 to add to this, where you have basically a battleground or arena type to this. But again, I'm not trying to push for that right now. I'm just trying to get a phase 1 of this out of there. And then, of course, phase 3 would be actually... You know, we tried it here. We saw that it worked in small scale. Now we can actually expand it across the entire Tamriel. You know, part of the issues that we see right now is they may not like the idea of putting this out there right now because they can't see it working in the large scale. Putting it small scale, like in a city like this, makes it a little bit more easy to digest. It makes it something you can see, you can implement, and you can fool around with it if you actually want to see if you're, you know, what some of these things do. So that's my proposal, guys. I hope you like it, and if you don't, well, give me a comment or give me a description of why you don't like it. I will try to address it, and hopefully this can be something that everyone can benefit